Welcome to the Creation to Cash Flow podcast. On this podcast, we help content creators and entrepreneurs improve your mindset so that you can achieve financial freedom, abundance, a good life, help other people, and feel very happy at the end of every day. So, we have a wonderful episode for you guys. Awesome topic coming from an awesome book. But first, Michelle, how are you doing?
Good. Yeah. Can't complain. I hate that question now. We need to have like a more specific, like random pop question, just one simple whatever, so people can get to know us. Like, what's your favorite color? Or like just something more personal.
108 episodes in, the truth comes out. Michelle hates the question that I've asked now 108 times. Wow.
I didn't hate it. I don't hate the question. I just think we could do better. I think we're better than that.
Rewind the tape. She just said, I hate that question.
I hate
That's
it
so getting clipped.
right now. I didn't always hate it. In this current reality moment, I hate that question.
All right. I guess Michelle's not doing well, guys.
No, I said I was good.
Okay. All right. We'll figure that one out in episode 109, I guess.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm all thrown off now.
You're welcome.
Anyway, we have a great episode for you guys. Let's get into it. We're talking about big money energy. Maybe you guys have heard of this before. You've all probably seen on social media. You've probably heard of big dick energy.
Oh.
I have a crew neck that I wear that has Santa Claus on it that I wear around Christmas time that says Big Nick Energy. Really a crowd favorite every time I wear that. People laugh because my name is Nick, if you didn't know. But anyway, we're talking about big money energy. It's all kind of in the same realm. And there's a book by Ryan Serhant called Big Money Energy. The people on Shark Tank love it, like Barbara. Barbara loves this book, and this guy's story is really, really cool. It's a great book. Highly recommend it. It's definitely on my storefront. But what I could tell you guys is that big money energy is kind of key. You guys know me and Michelle are big on mindset and manifestation. I mean, we're on episode 108 of a mindset podcast, so I'm sure y'all are aware that we care about mindset, but like we bring big money energy everywhere we go. We're not really that wealthy though. Like we could both be in much better financial shape. That is very much for sure, but like we still have big money energy. You don't have to have millions of dollars in your bank account to have big money energy, but there is an energy you can bring to your life that makes you more likely to attract money. And that's a little bit about what big money energy is. Michelle, what do you feel like is the most big money energy thing that you can think of lately that you've done, where it's just something where you were like, that was a big money energy move? Maybe it's something you bought for yourself or something you did or just the way you talked to someone. Does anything come to mind?
I don't know, because I'm still like kind of a little not sure about what big money energy exactly is, but I can say that, whenever there is like turmoil or chaos or something that is financially there is suddenly financially not there, that my mindset and the confidence I have, like, oh, it'll come back around, or like, oh, I'll get it another way, or like, just, I think the confidence of knowing I'm not gonna stop buying the groceries I need. I'm not gonna stop, like, I don't spend recklessly already. That's just not how I live my life. But like, to not have fear and immediately be like, oh my God, I need to go find a job right now. And instead I'm like, okay, that sucks, but here's what we can do to fix it. Here are other avenues. Like that to me, I feel like could be big money energy.
Yeah.
I think we'll eventually talk about all the turmoil, but not today. But because we're gonna learn a lot from like just things that are going on in life. But I think that just, yeah, confidence, knowing like, okay, well, shit happens, like let's pivot or whatever needs to happen. And it's just kind of like, I think just the confidence in myself and knowing like, okay, if it's happened once before, I can do it again. And maybe this is propelling me forward even further.
That's totally big money energy, is not going into fear and scarcity mode over every little financial change that happens in your life, good or bad. A good thing happens, you don't go spending all your money. A bad thing happens, you don't go trying to cut everything. That's big money energy, to just know and have trust in the flow of money both to you and away from you. That's very much big money energy. Um, I feel like I'm trying to think of like my latest one. Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm doing things all the time, but like the one that just seems to really make people be like, "That's very interesting," and that makes a lot of sense. Um, you do this too, I believe, but it doesn't help that I'm reading like 8 books at a time. I use $100 bills as my bookmarks.
Yes.
That's big money energy. Even though like I need that $800. Like I very much need to be doing other things with that. It would be much smarter if I just bought $800 worth of Bitcoin with that, and I look back and I'm like, all right, that was like 1% of a Bitcoin, but like later in life that could be worth 10 or $100,000 rather than just 800 right now. So like I should probably be buying Bitcoin with that. But instead, it's big money energy, because now I start to associate so much extra financial value with books. Like when I keep 4 books in my backpack at a time, I'm a little bit more careful about these books and making sure, like, do I have all my books? Do I have all my things? And it just trains my mind to really value books because I'm putting money inside of them. And every time I open it, like I go to open my page and I see a nice, crisp $100 bill, it just gives me this feeling of like, books are where the money is. This is where it is. This is where the value is. And that's very much a big money energy move. There's a lot about like, they talk about fake it till you make it. And that very much is tied to big money energy.
Hmm.
And the guy, Ryan Serhant,
Who is that?
um, what?
Who is that? Like, what is he? Is
He's the
he
guy.
like
He's
a.
the guy. He's the guy who wrote the book. But you might know his name because he also. It's kind of the story at first of how he sort of weaseled his way onto. Uh, what's the name of the show? I think it's called $1 Million Listing New York, the real estate show.
Oh, I've seen the LA one. I didn't know there was a New York one.
Yeah, I think the New York one was first. It's either I think it's
Oh.
called $1 Million Listing or $100 million Listing or something like it
Million
might just be
Dollar
million.
Listing is probably that's the LA one. I love that show.
So he was who they hired for the New York one, and he was like a no-name real estate agent, like not good at real estate, not a very like savvy businessman, and it's kind of his like fake it till you make it story
Wow.
of like deciding like, okay, I need all new clothes. I need all new everything. I need to go start selling more real estate so that I can apply for the show. And there were hundreds of other applicants. And I forget exactly what he said. I wish I had the book in front of me. But anyway, he goes in with this crazy big money energy and almost is like so nonchalant and careless while everyone's trying so hard to like get this role. And he also has no, I don't think he has much acting experience. It's very little, if any. Um, and they end up picking him to kind of move on to the next round. And they're like, all right, we want to follow you around for a day in your life as a real estate agent.
Huh.
And he's like, fuck, I'm an awful real estate agent. I don't have a lot of deals happening. I got like nothing. And he goes on whatever real estate sites, whatever, and finds that there's someone selling like a $19 million home. And he just goes through his entire plan of like how he convinces that guy to let him like come and explore and take this camera crew. And he kind of mentions that like it'll be really good exposure for you. I could be your listing agent. And all of these things happening, he throws out all of his clothes and buys new clothes. He starts getting some fake watches. And all of this unfolds because he's trying to change his energy. And he's like, I know I don't have the energy of someone that sells $1 million homes. and he goes and he starts talking to other people that do, and he eventually sells his first like multi-million dollar listing, and it's his come up story, and
Wow.
how the energy that you bring into your life will determine the people that you meet, the things that you do, the path that you're on, all of that. So it's a really cool book, and it's really cool to think about like what is the energy you bring, like because if you're not bringing big money energy to the conversation when you're talking with people, like
Wow. That just made me think like how, they say with manifestation, like be the person, like act like the person that does have X, Y, and Z that you want. And it's kind of like if you're a content creator wanting to be a big content creator, or you want to be an influencer, or you want to be an actor, or whatever, like if there was a camera crew following you around, what is it that you would be showing this camera crew that you're doing with your day as the huge influencer with millions of followers, or the big TikTok shop affiliate, or whatever it is that you want to do, the bakery, the local bakery, like what would your day look like? That's kind of what I'm like thinking would be so like impactful if everyone just showed up like that. Like when I had my 22-day challenge, if anyone's been listening since day one of our podcast, they know about this. I want to redo that. I actually should do that tomorrow, starting tomorrow. But
tomorrow, yeah, hell yeah.
it's just like, because I can't do it today because it requires morning to night, but I literally would bring my camera around. I would fake it like it was a camera crew, but I would bring my tripod with me, and I filmed the workout, the coffee, the journaling, the every single thing I did, and I would show up like that for 22 days straight. And oh my gosh, the transformation. I did this challenge several different months in a row, and that's when I hit over 100,000 followers on both of my platforms. Like that's when I really, really hit like Michelle's brand, and I learned so much about myself because I was showing up as if I already was a content creator or a coach or whatever. And it sounds like that's exactly what he did, where it's kind of like I'm gonna do the very things that I would be doing if I was in that place I want to be. And that's so crazy. I'm gonna do that. Wow.
I think I've mentioned this. I don't know if it's on the podcast or not, but I've definitely told you this, and it just hasn't been a while. But my first 7 TikToks that I ever posted were me taking little snippets of every single thing I did during the day. And I started a series, and I said, here's everything or recording everything I do every single day until I'm a millionaire. And the fourth one got like 6,000 views, but typically they were getting like 100. And I remember I was golfing with my buddy Brandon. He was my college roommate, and he was like, "Dude, your TikTok's going viral." And I checked, and I saw I had like a couple hundred likes and comments and stuff, and I was like, "Oh my god, like I'm literally famous now. This is it got 6,000 views." But like at the time, I was like, "Oh my god, like this is working so well." And the reason that I did all that was because I don't listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, but I see clips sometimes, and I do enjoy them. I can't listen to a 4 hour podcast. Well, I could, I guess. I used to listen to Jocko Willings, but besides the point, I saw a Joe Rogan clip, and he was talking to someone, maybe just the viewers, maybe there was a guest, I don't know, but he was saying, pretend that you right now are in a movie, and this is just the beginning of the movie, and like you're down and out, and you got your hood up, and you're walking through the alley in the rain, and it's all sad, and you're about to turn everything around, and pretend that a camera crew is following you around and records every single thing you do in a day, and watch your whole life change. So I was like, all right, got no camera crew, but I had my little red iPhone at the time, and the one with the little camera that I had well until I had 500,000 followers. And I was like, I'm just going to record a little bit of every single thing I do during the day to hold myself accountable, and I'll figure out how to edit it and post it too. And so I was trying to come up with that big money energy of like, all right, right now I'm not really who I want to be, but let me just change my energy and the things I do. Like, what does the version of me that I want to be? What does that person do? And I was like, cold plunge first thing in the morning. Oh God, this is going to be hard. Mushroom teas and coffees and things. I was drinking a ton of pomegranate juice at the time. I was trying to like incorporate all these healthy routines and things. Little did I know what I was actually trying to do was just show up with some big money energy.
Or just show up in general. Like,
Yeah.
I've been struggling with posting because I'm doing so many different things. And the other day I was like, why don't I just show up and be like, hey, I've been overthinking everything and I just been struggling with posting, so I'm just going to post this because I need to post. And that will get me over this stump of like not posting. And I posted it. And so many people were like, oh my God, I can relate. Thank you for posting this. Come back on here. Miss your yapping sessions. And I'm like, oh, it was that easy. Like, why was I overthinking it? What the heck? Why do we self-sabotage?
You're still yapping here too. So if they want to hear the yapping,
Oh,
so
I
tell
told
them
them.
to come.
I mentioned the podcast. I even said that. And in my
I
new
figured.
narrator trend, where it's like, this is Michelle, you know, the narrator, it talks about how I spill all of my thoughts on our weekly podcast. So don't worry.
I figured.
It'll come out soon.
Let's talk about another thing too. You kind of manifesting your Tesla. I remember that whole thing unfolding. That was some big money energy. If you want to just take it away and kind of explain like how you went from like deciding you wanted a Tesla to owning one and the things that happened in between.
Yeah, so I wanted a Tesla and I was like, okay, well, what can I do to get one? And I wrote down on a piece of paper all the different ways that I could get a Tesla. And the only one that wasn't get the money was like win a prize. And I tried. I did enter giveaways and stuff like that. I actually did. And in the money category, I was like, okay, I want to save up an extra $100,000. Like, I want to save 100K because I want to not take money from what I'm earning, but I want this to be like an extra like savings thing. Like, this is going to be like my reward. And then I was like, okay, I need $100,000 extra this year. And then I wrote down how are all the ways I can make money. So I was like, oh, okay, online courses, extra coaching calls, content creation, Amazon. And I like wrote down all the different avenues of how you can make money as a content creator. And then I started like breaking down each one of those things. And I was like, okay, I'll work on a course. I got courses out. I got more content out. The 22-day challenge was a huge part of that. Like being consistent and like just showing up helped me get my muscle stronger than somebody who's not really posting at all. And then my goal was like, okay, this is January, I want it by December, but I hit that $100,000 in June of that year, like 6 months in instead of 12 months in. So then I ordered the Tesla and then it came in December of that year because it was like so backlogged back then. So that's what I did. I was like, okay, I want this. I know I can have it. If other people can have it, why not me? Like, if it's accessible, then I'm able to get it too. Let's just figure out ways to get it. And then I did. And I was like, okay, cool. Nice.
That's classic big money energy. Looking at the things out there that exist that other people are doing and buying and saying, well, if they could do it, I could do it. And one thing I do, this is pretty big money energy. I love, a lot of people do this, but I do it with a little extra intention. I love getting on Zillow and looking. I look all the time at the price of homes in Nantucket and in like southern Utah, as well as Key West and Costa Rica, because those are the four places that I kind of like. Those are my happy places that I really like to go, and I'm very confident that I will own property in all of them, or like timeshares, or we'll see how it all shakes out. But like overall, I go on there with intention, and I look at them, and I'm just like, I can't wait. Like I can't wait till I have a house in one of these places, and I just look at the price, and I reverse engineer it, just like you said, and I'm like, if I just do this, and this. That's all I have to do. Now, in order to do those things, who do I have to be? Because you can't, if you just go on there and like window shop and you're just like, oh, that's tough. Maybe one day. No, that day is not coming. You have to reverse engineer the plan. And then you also have to look at, is the person I am now, does that get me there? And if the answer is no, you have to look at that and make changes. Because if right now you can look at yourself and say, all right, I want to live on Nantucket. You don't say in Nantucket, it's on Nantucket if you didn't know. I want to live on Nantucket. The house I want is probably going to be $10 million, probably 15 at the time that I actually go get it. So, all right, I need $15 million. Does the version of Nick today, if nothing changes and 4 years pass, does that get me there? And the answer is not yes. If you're not 100% certain it's yes, then the answer is no. and you have more growing to do. And I know I do. I have much more growing to do. I'm not a perfect person, and I make mistakes. I still mismanage my time. There are things. I'm in pretty good shape. I've come such a long way, but the version of Nick that's writing a $15 million check, or maybe it's 5 million, and and I'm signing up for a mortgage or something. I know who I have to become, and every day I'm taking the steps to become that person. And that's big money energy, is saying, I'm not who I want to be yet. Let me start carrying around the energy and do the daily routine and be the person that has big money energy.
Yeah, it's really just like taking inventory of what am I currently doing that is in alignment with getting me there, and what am I currently doing that is not in alignment with getting me there, and then what are things that I should be doing that I'm not doing that I can replace with the things that are not currently getting me to where I want to go. So yeah, and it's also taking a lot of risks. Like, there are a ton of risks that I've taken in the past year, and some of them have been difficult and some of them have been helpful. I mean, they're all helpful because I learn no matter what, but it's like the risk factor is what stops a lot of people, because they're risking their comfortability, or they're like, but what if this, like for me to do the 22-day challenge, I had this second where I was like, oh crap, no, I don't want to wake up early. And then I was like, wait, I wasn't waking up at 5 a.m. when I did the 22-day challenge. I still woke up at the normal time. It's just the fact of showing up. So it's like I immediately start having these excuses and these fears because it's going against my comfort zone, and we're programmed to, like, our brain is programmed to keep us safe and keep us secure. And so whenever we feel a perceived fear or a perception of what might be bad or unsafe, we want to immediately stop ourselves. But no, if you have freaking big goals, you've got to go for it. It's like when I'm performing and I'm in or doing an audition, or I have a callback and I want to get a role on a TV show. It's like the people that are not confident and still, they will not get the role, because you can't let that get in your way. So it's like, as an actor myself, over the past 2 years, I'm about to graduate from school, I've really learned stillness and confidence, and like I have to go in almost with like a mindset of like, I'm not going to get this. Like, this is just a practice round. That way I don't self-sabotage and think, oh my God, this is everything to me, and then I won't get the role if I'm like nervous or insecure about it at all. So it's like having the confidence to be like, you know what, I'm going to show up with what I have, and it's not a big deal whether or not I get it. It was the same thing with the Tesla. I was like, I'm going to show up. I'm going to try these avenues, whether or not it comes. Like, at least I tried. At least I'm going to have some more money than I did because I'm having a new routine now.
So many good lessons from your acting school
It's
that we end up
life-changing.
bringing to this podcast. It's so interesting. I would love to do something like that, but
They'd have online Zoom. It's really life-changing. It's so funny. People think it's just like you're learning how to act, but it's not. It's life lessons. It's literally like therapy twice a week.
yeah, it's really cool. Because I get little tidbits of the lessons too without having to become an actor. Even though we all know I'll be a movie star one day. Um, anyway, here's another big money energy thing, and this is one that I struggle with too. I mean, I think I do a pretty good job with my big money energy, because pretty much anywhere I ever go or talk to anyone and my age comes out, people are floored. For our listeners, I won't even tell you. I'll keep the mystery alive, but I'm probably younger than you think,
You've told them
and
plenty of times.
maybe our new listeners are still wondering, or maybe people forgot. But anyway, I'm pretty young. Like, my spiritual coach often reminds me, he's like, Nick, you're a kid. Like, the things that you're doing and asking and learning and who you are already, like, you are wiser than most people ever become, but you're a kid. And like, that very much validates like my big money energy personally. But here's something that I struggle with on my road to having more big money energy, because the way that you dress affects the energy that you bring. And I wear socks with holes in them still. Michelle sent me socks because I wear socks that have holes in them. And I often just wear like a nice fitted t-shirt and bamboo Av shorts. And it's not necessarily that that's not okay to wear. Who I want to become actually like still aligns with that. Like I wear like clean, nice fitting athleisure, but there are certain scenarios where I know I really should dress to impress a little bit more, like and I struggle with that one. But I know the version the version of Nick that lives on Nantucket in a $15 million home probably has a couple nice suits, probably has a couple nicer collared shirts, probably has some good button downs, probably owns more than one pair of pants. I have golf pants, but like in terms of like pants that I would be like, oh, like Michelle and I are going to this important event, there's one pair of pants to choose from. That's not very big money energy of me. A lot of the other things I do are, but I really you gotta look at yourself every single little thing in every box. And like, am I at a point right now where I'm gonna go spend $2,000 in a new wardrobe? No. But like, I recognize that the version of me that I want to become and who I am today, there is a gap between those two. So like, I'm slowly phasing out certain clothes and outfits and finding replacements and upgrading things, because you got to dress for the job you want. The way you dress affects your energy. You got big money energy with the outfit you're wearing, or no? And you know what's big money energy that Michelle wears? That fur coat, that huge fur coat is so big money energy, like times a million.
I love that fur coat. I wore it yesterday. It's like May in Los Angeles and it was cold and I literally wore it outside to take my dog out. I love
Michelle, that coat looks like it's $90,000.
good. It was only like 300, but I love that coat. It was the most expensive coat I've ever purchased in my life. My mother-in-law has the same coat and she let me wear it over Christmas break. So I was like, I want this coat. So anyway, love that. I do agree. I think that there's two things about this. The first one is like, I've talked about this before with ADHD. I have to change clothes and get ready for the day, or I will stay stuck in my sleepy, relaxed, chaotic mind. I have to physically wash my face, put on my skincare, do my hair, and take off my glasses, put in my contacts, put on some earrings. I have to do these things to physically get me in the energy of I'm now creating, I'm now out of sleep mode, I am in work mode. But the second part of that, depending on everybody's career, of course, like if a hairdresser has shitty hair, you will not go to that hairdresser. If a injector who does like lip filler has horrible lips, or if a dentist has crooked ass teeth that are yellow and falling out, you will not want to go to that dentist or that injector because they're not portraying what you desire. So it's like if people are coming to you for money things, you've got to kind of portray that you have it. Now, there is a certain like extent, of course, there's like the people like, I'm pretty sure whoever created like Apple, I think doesn't really dress like that. But the thing is, like, I feel like for a normal person on a day-to-day basis, sure, it might not matter what you're wearing, but at the same time, if you're like a preacher, you would be in a suit. If you're a real estate agent, you would be dressing nice. I know a friend that has $0, like she's a new real estate agent, but she has a Range Rover because she's like, I have to be perceived as somebody who has money as I'm taking my clients around Beverly Hills. And it's just like, that's part of the profession and that's part of being professional. As a content creator, if I was a beauty creator, I would be so much more intentional about my looks. I feel like I am kind of already just intentional about taking good care of myself, but I'm not like, I need to have the perfect everything every day, even though, whatever. I feel like as a beauty creator, there's a lot more pressure on you to know how to do makeup. I don't know how to do makeup at all. Like, I just don't. So it's like, what is the profession? And are you an expert at that? Or are you being perceived as somebody who knows what they're talking about or is good at the hair or the injections or whatever it is?
Those are all such good examples. I like that you brought up the Steve Jobs thing too, because
Is that who it?
yeah, I believe you're thinking of how Steve Jobs wore the same like blue jeans and black sweater
Yeah, the
every
Apple
day.
guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Rest in peace to Steve Jobs. But the reason he did that was to eliminate decision fatigue.
Yes, I do that.
And that's why I started buying a lot more of the clothes that I already know fit me well and that I look good in,
Yeah.
and like these fitted shirts and things, because that is big money energy. Like it might not be a suit. I don't need to wear a suit. I should probably own a couple more, and like I
At
should
least
probably
one.
get some pants. But overall, like if I can just eliminate decision fatigue and wear something super similar every day, that feels like big money energy to me. And that's an important thing for us to mention. Big money energy is all about how you feel,
Hmm.
because what makes you feel big money energy might be different than me. In the book, Ryan Serhant buys a fake Rolex and it did the job for him. Every time he looked down at his wrist, like, yes, he knows it's fake, but like it was still a couple $100. And like it felt real enough to him, and other people thought it was real, that it just helped him bring that energy. And when I read that, I was like, I really can't right now, but like at some point this year, like I've now set my goal to buy a gold Rolex with a green face.
Wow.
I don't care if it's used. I don't care if it's only $800 because it's in shit condition. I don't care if it's $5,000. That is a goal that I have set for myself that right now can't do it. That would not be intelligent of me to do right now, but like I want that. That would I used to wear a watch, and like having a nice watch on your wrist. I don't know if this is like just for men, but like for me, that very much changes my attitude and how I feel about myself, honestly. Like I'm not a big fan of tying the way you feel to materialistic items and things, but to a degree, having a nice watch, that's big money energy. Very much so. Having a nice timepiece to wear out. Does it mean I got to spend all my money on watches and materialistic items to make me feel good? No. I would never put the way that I feel in the hands of things that don't even have a heartbeat. I determine how I feel. But in order for me to really bring that energy up, a nice watch that dials up a lot of my plainer outfits that I like to wear, that's going to be a key for me. And that's just something I got from the book.
Wow. Rolex has been coming into our lives so much lately. Like Evan's currently editing for a Rolex video right now, and he's like
Really?
been every day like Rolex, Rolex. So it's crazy you brought up that brand because like I haven't heard anything about Rolex in so many years. So it's just so random. Evan has been. It's so funny after Miami, he has been really wanting to make a change in like some freelance stuff and money. And he started watching the course videos in Circle with Brand Week creators. He then got a raise. Like he spoke it out loud. Like, oh, I would love to edit one of the Rolex videos. Also, I would love a raise. He's never had one in his life. He immediately got a raise and now he's editing these Rolex videos. He's been listening all the way through our podcast, learning so much. He got on TikTok Shop yesterday because of the pilot program. Like all these things are now falling into his lap. And it's because he started putting out there what he wanted. He's never really done that before. He's like, I want this. And now he's like, all these things are coming. And in his free time, instead of like wanting to watch a game or watch TV or play anything, he's like, oh, I'm going to go like listen to this podcast, or oh, I'm going to go watch these training videos. Oh, like I'm editing this thing. And it's like all these things are now flooding into his life, which of course impacts me. So you also have to ask yourself, like maybe the material things don't matter, but like what are the things that you could be doing different that are going to impact your spouse or your significant other or your mom or your daughter, like what are the things that you could be doing a little differently that will have a ripple effect on everyone in your life in a positive way? And also, what are you doing that is currently negatively affecting everyone else around you?
That just made me so happy. I love Evan so much. He's one of my favorite human beings in the whole world. And to see him entering his big money Evan energy, I mean, come on. It doesn't get any better than that. So that makes me so freaking happy. Um,
Yeah, it's interesting hearing the trainings. Like, I'd never heard some of these trainings, and it's like make better content. And you brought up my name, and like you brought up one of my videos, and I was like, oh my God, like that's whoa. And Evan's like, that's my wife. And I was like, I am just so happy because it's like I have you in my living room, even though you're not physically here, and then him, and it's just like everything's great.
that is too freaking funny. Um, I think I got to do another LA trip soon so I could give Evan his shorts. He texted me a picture of like one of my socks or something that I left there, and he was like, "You left this here. You should probably come get it. And like, if you're gonna be here, you might as well stay for 3 weeks."
Oh my God, I didn't know you said
Something like
that.
that. It was a little while ago, but it was super funny.
Aw.
Anyway, sorry, I'm just laughing because like when I come visit you, it's almost like I'm on a play date with Evan.
I
Like, and you're
know.
like, okay, because you have shit to do, and you're like, okay, you guys go play, and we're like,
Yeah, y'all like
yeah,
go just hang out, and I'm like
yeah.
busy working.
But anyway, there's another thing. Big money energy, very much tied to the way you take care of yourself.
Hmm.
You have got to be spending the money on massage, on wellness, on a good gym, on the good healthy food. If everything fell apart for me and I had to boil down like what are my necessities, it is all like health and wellness practices, and everything else I could cut. Like I can switch my car, I could live in a cheaper place. I could do anything, and I would come back from this, of course, but like what I would do, my Rolex goal would not change because I need that energy. It's not so much about the money, it's about the energy and the power that it will give me. So that goal would remain: massage, wellness, gym, healthy food, all of that stuff needs to remain. You cannot have big money energy if you are not healthy, if you are not in good shape. You just can't. And it's okay because if you're not in good shape, but you are getting into better shape, that's big money energy. That's very much big money energy. As long as you are seeing improvements in your health and physique, that's big money energy because the kind of person that has a lot of money is always getting better. So whether you're starting at the worst place, you could be 800 pounds and you're on my 800-pound life. If you're taking steps in the right direction and you're becoming happier and healthier, that is so big money energy because not everything can be changed in an instant, right? Like if I was like, the big money version of Nick has way longer hair, like I can't do that in an instant. But if I'm taking the steps towards it, if I'm growing my hair out, that's a random example. I'm not really sure that ties in, but you guys get the gist that like you can't always make the appearance change that would help you have better energy in an instant. But if you're taking steps towards it and you're becoming happier and healthier, that's so big money energy of you.
Yeah, it's all about like just going towards your goals. Like when I was
Yeah.
40 pounds heavier 5 years ago, I was not trying to look better. I genuinely just knew my ADHD required me to exercise and that I wasn't currently doing that and that I needed to make a change for my sanity and my work ethic and everything. And it's just like, the outward appearance was a reflection or it was kind of the byproduct, but it was never the focus because for me, I was like, I need to get my habits and my lifestyle in line with what I believe I am and who I believe I am. And then, yeah, like I lost some weight, but it was never about that. And I know people who they're not able to lose weight and it's not about the weight. So I really want to emphasize that, especially women who have had kids. Everything, all the hormones, all the chemicals are so screwed up the rest of your life basically. So it's like where I want to emphasize that because I have loved ones that struggle with that and it's not about what you look like at all. It's more so about what are you doing? What are your habits? What are you eating? How much are you moving your body? Because that is what matters. It's not about the physical, what you see. It's more so about what are the things and your intentions and like what are your daily habits looking like? That's everything, not necessarily the outward physique.
Exactly. Like, are you in the gym getting stronger, seeing that you can move heavier weights seeing you could curl more, seeing you can bench press more, or maybe for you, is it walking? Do you struggle to go on a 1 mile walk, but you're working on it, and now you can walk a mile and a half? Now you can walk 2 miles. Are you a runner? Are you a swimmer? Whatever it is, do you play golf? As long as you are taking steps in the right direction in terms of like your health or who you want to be or your physical activity levels, that is a huge, huge, huge part of big money energy. I don't think you could have big money energy if you're not taking care of yourself and growing physically as a person.
Yeah, and also I do want to emphasize, oh gosh, we got to go soon. I do want to emphasize the importance of making sure that you're not trying to completely change everything at once. I highly recommend go read Atomic Habits. Nick, go read Atomic Habits, please. It is going to help you with the compounding of slowly changing things so that your whole lifestyle can change. Because, like, 5 years ago, like I mentioned, it was one thing at a time. Like at first, it was like, I'm gonna move my body every day. I saw no change. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna change my diet and stop eating fast food. Okay, now I'm gonna, like the next month, I add one more thing on that I'm gonna slowly start changing to get more into the energy and the person that I knew I was, the person I am today. And it's like, if I would have tried to change it all overnight, I would have been disappointed and burnt out, and it would have not happened.
Powerful. That was kind of a mic drop there. Um, I know we're just about out of time. I really don't have too much else, but there is one thing before we wrap up. I need our listeners' help. Same thing I will always say, except a little bit different this time because maybe you've been hearing it for a while. You've been like, oh, I've been meaning to give them a review. I've been meaning to help them hit their 5-star goal on Spotify. Just all we ask. We ask you guys for participation and love. If you love the show, go give us a rating, go write us a review. We've got so few for how many people I see. I can see our listeners. I can see how much you guys love this show, but we don't feel the love. We don't see it. We don't see the reviews. We don't see all of that, all of those things rolling in. So I really need y'all's help because this is episode 108. 108 weeks of us paying out of our pocket with time and quite a lot of money. It is not easy to have a podcast just to put this on for you guys. So it really, really would go a long way if you guys could give us and write out those reviews on Spotify or Apple Music, whatever you listen on. Give us the rating and really type out a review and just explain how the show has helped you. We would really, really appreciate that. We love doing this for you guys. We want to keep doing this for you guys. By the way, if you want to go get that book, go press the buttons below. You can go find my storefront. If you want to leave us a voice recording so that you can get an AYQ, answer your question episode, anything like that, follow Michelle on Instagram. All of these things are below if you want to go press those links, and they'll take you to the right places. But your only homework is the review. We really need them, guys. So we love you, and we will see you next time.
Bye, guys.